Hello, this is Andrew Mount for GG, kindly sponsored by Bet.UK, with my thoughts for racing at Aintree on Saturday, April the 15th. It's Grand National Day, of course. I'll come to the big race in a little while. But first, let's talk about the opener, the 145, the Maghull Novices Chase. It looks Jonbon's for the taking. He's won 8 of his 10 career starts, second in the other 2, last time out behind El Fabiolo in the Arkle at Cheltenham, and at the same meeting 12 months earlier when chasing home the brilliant Constitution Hill. I think he's going to take a world of beating here, and he's very hard to oppose. However, there is one that I do quite like at a bigger price that I wouldn't put you off backing each way, or putting in an exacta to finish second to the favourite, or betting in the without the favourite market with our sponsor Bet.UK, and that's Marvel de Cerisy for the Henry de Bromhead yard. De Bromhead's had 3 winners in this race in recent years: 28 to 1, 9 to 2, and 3 to 1. This one tends to go well at this time of year on decent-ish ground. So if the rain stays away, maybe he could be the one for the forecast, assuming that Bambridge, winner of the opener on Thursday, doesn't run again. Right, moving on to the 225. This is a very tricky looking 3-mile handicap hurdle. However, this traditionally has been a race for horses who come from off the pace. As you'd expect, a big field, usually a strong pace. I think the first 7 home last year all came from midfield or further back. One of those was the 3rd, Mill Green, a horse I tipped up for the Per Temps final. He ran 3rd at 22 to 1 in that race last month, trading at odds on in running. Now, last year he was also placed in the Per Temps before placing in this race at Aintree. His whole season's been geared around these 2 big handicaps, and I think he's going to be in the first 4 again. 10 to 1, back him each way. Moving on to the 3rd race on Saturday, the 3 o'clock at Aintree, which is the Mersey Novices Hurdle. I'm going to field against Hermes Allen, the 4 to 1 favourite at the time of recording, after his disappointing 6 in the Ballymore. And I'll look elsewhere for the winner. You Wear It Well, winner of the Dawn Run, won't be inconvenienced by the step back up to 2.5. She can go well. Springwell Bay did win at Wetherby last time, but I do think he's still going to turn out to be a better horse on right-handed tracks, so I'll reluctantly oppose him. And the one I do like is Crambo. Now Crambo disappointed in the Challow Hurdle behind Hermes Allen in December at Newbury, but he had a wind operation after that, so that suggests there was a breathing problem that day. He's won 2 from 2 since, and if you check out that Challow Hurdle run, he's 5 from 5 in his career. So Crambo was 25 to 1 into 18 to 1 on Friday, and I think he's going to go well for the Fergal O'Brien yard. And the 335, the 4th race at Aintree, this is the Liverpool Hurdle, the Aintree equivalent of the Stairs Hurdle. I'm going to stick with Home by the Lee. I napped him at Cheltenham. He was disappointing. He was only 5th, but he was beaten by less than 4 lengths. He was staying on again at the finish, and he probably wasn't helped by racing very wide and coming more towards the stand side in the straight. Now, that's usually where you want to be at Cheltenham, but it certainly wasn't the case that day when the majority of the hurdle winners were on the inside of the track, including the winner, Sire de Burley. So Home by the Lee in the 335. Monmiral is an interesting one as well. He has been running over fences this season, not brilliantly on occasion, certainly not last time out, when only 4th to Jerry Colombe at Sandown. But he's got the cheap pieces on for the first time, which is a positive statistical angle for unplaced last time out Paul Nicholls trained runners. And of course, he's run well at this meeting before. He won here 2 years ago, and last year he chased home Epatante in 2nd place. So Monmiral might be able to outrun his odds as well behind Home by the Lee. Moving on to the 4:15, 3-mile 1 furlong handicap chase time. This is tricky, and as you'd expect, 15 runners. So if you're having a place spot, only 3. So you might need a few in there. The ones on my radar are Shakem Harry, who was placed in the Red Rum handicap chase at this meeting last year. He ran better than his finishing position suggested at Cheltenham, running well against the pace buyers. Beauport did too much too soon when 9th in the King Muir, and this easier test will suit. He'd probably be my main play. And the other one of interest is Midnight River. He disappointed at Cheltenham, but he was trying to follow up his Cheltenham New Year's Day win, and he's got a terrible record following a win, and he often bounces back from a defeat to score next time out. So Midnight River, Beauport and Shakem Harry, my shortlist for that 3 mile 1 contest with preference for Beauport. The 5:15 is the Grand National. Still not 100% decided if and what I'm going to put up in my column, so check out the GG.CO.UK website for that. But the shortlist consists of the favourite Corach Rambler, Our Power for Sam Thomas, a horse who goes extremely well on flat tracks. And I also want to consider one at a massive price, which is Recite a Prayer for Willie Mullins. We're at about 100 to 1 at the time of recording. This one's got a great record in the spring, and she could go well at silly odds for her leading yard. That's it from me. Until next time. Until then, best of luck.